Guess that means it's on. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess we're good.
okay, we'll call the meeting to order. It's 6:04 PM. Roll call.
Paul St. Norman.
Colleen Hodges.
That's
Joshua Magnone.
Alex Berardo for staff.
And Nick Longo.
Norma Smith. Has everybody read the minutes, July 10th and August 20?
We can take them as two votes.
I mean.
Maureen.
Hey, Maureen.
Okay. And there's
I'm gonna go back and
Maureen,
see that now.
there's Maureen and Buffy here.
I'll close the door so we don't get
Oh,
extra noise.
no, got it?
Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything, said you're all scattered.
I'll ring the bell for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So we can do a vote for each set of minutes, I guess.
Has everybody read the minutes?
Yes.
We have a motion to approve on July 10th.
I make a motion to approve.
Let me figure out, was I here on July 10?
Yes, I think you arrived just a few minutes late.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm here for both.
I wasn't there for that one, so I'll recuse myself.
Made the motion,
Yeah, I think.
second?
Seconded it.
Oh, he did, okay. August 20th, do we have a motion to approve the mission?
So we should do the all in favor, just.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, it's the
Been a while.
formality of it all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, can we have a motion for August, approval of the August 20th special meeting?
Make a
Minutes.
motion. I'll second it.
Were you there? Okay, I wasn't.
What was that one?
Yeah, I heard you were at that one, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Then, yeah, I guess that just means that Norma and Paul like are abstaining, I guess. I guess we, yeah, we'll say abstain.
We, we're not there. I thought it was a Thursday.
That was the original plan.
Yeah.
It was just they weren't able to join on that specific Thursday.
It's okay. All right, okay, well, can we move now on to the CLG grant updates?
Yeah, it's a good segue for it. So yeah, the August 20th special meeting was the public informational meeting. And yeah, hopefully for those of you who were there would agree, but I think that went pretty nicely. I thought it was a nice event. It was, you know, shall we say light on the general public attendance, but we had, yeah, it was good for, you know, the in crowd, I guess. It was a good dry run to see, you know, we can host an event, we can put on something that looks pretty nice, do it without much of a hitch. The council chamber was a good space for it. The tech setup was fine. You know, we got the tables when we needed it with tablecloths and everything. So that, you know, it was obviously important to be able to check the box because that was part of the grant project, that event would occur, that there would be a PowerPoint presentation made for it, all that stuff. But I mean, in terms of just how we manage our own logistics, that'll serve us well for any future events we do. So to circle back then to where the grant process stands, I sent by email the finalized draft of David's report, our consultant. And so that one's been sent off to the state. Their intended, as far as I know, their plan is basically during this month, they'll close out, like they've been looking at it the whole time. So I don't think they have any other, they're gonna not make edits to it. But what remains now is whatever closeout they do on their end. The grant period where the reporting, all the final stuff has to get sent off to the state is the end of this month, September 30th. So I am personally just waiting on our consultant to send the last of his invoices so they can be processed. And then when I have the check stubs from our payments of him, that's when I have what I need to do on the town's end, what is needed to close it out, to get the money released to us. So
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so yes, the final thing is then, they had said when they close that out, so in October, but they didn't say when in October. That's when they'd like to talk with us again, to then say what they envision the next steps will be, which it sounded like at the meeting, they want to go out probably to Harris first and
Right.
meet with us, look at what's out there, compare it to what David surveyed, see if there's anything else to add, and just talk from there.
I think that
I'm sorry, I
answers
didn't
my-
mean,
well,
I was gonna
please-
say, I didn't mean to hop over your question.
No, it's okay. I mean, I was butting in. So I think you've answered my question by saying they want to come out and, work with us on tying up any loose ends. So I guess that means that we can officially amend the survey with new information, even though it's been submitted and final, that we can still
Yeah.
go in and
I think that it's,
tweak it.
yeah, I think that it's like, for the purposes of reporting, again, like some kind of report, because I've never, this is my first time seeing it all
Mhm.
get all unfold. It sounds to me like they on their end have to submit something to the National Park Service that says this grant period is over with and we have dispersed the funds, and that, this thing that was whatever the project schedule was, that it was, all these tasks are done with. But the work of how do we carry forward the research that was done this time through this project forward into the point where in the future we apply for another grant for a National Register nomination form to get made. That is the conversation that just continues after that. So I think that we just naturally keep working with that material and add
Yes.
to it.
That report basically becomes ours.
Yeah,
He gives it to us, it's filed to fulfill the requirements of the grant.
yeah,
But then what we do with that, if we add to it or we tweak it or whatever, it's our report. And so to use that with whatever tweaks we choose to move forward to the next
It's-
step.
But it's supposed to be a state document though, when it's
Yeah,
all
it's
said
like-
and done.
it's the basis for, I mean, as far as I understand, that's the basis for the state plus us. That's what it sounds like they want to go towards to build off of it. And then I guess you'd say whatever it ends up being after it's been built off of, maybe at that point it becomes our document in spirit. I don't know, but that seems to be the direction they want to go in. Maybe they say something totally different. Maybe I'm sleeping on it for a month. They've got a new idea, but I don't think so.
Was it my imagination or did Sarah seem a little
It
less
got
than
awkward.
enthusiastic?
It got awkward.
Yeah.
It got awkward.
It did,
Mhm.
it
I
did.
I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we've adjusted the game plan a little bit with us going back out and,
It's like he didn't give her what she
It-
wanted,
There was,
and
I
I'm not
think
sure what
two
was
things.
missing.
Two things. One was not including parts of the villages that extended into Situate and Cranston. And also listing buildings as contributing or non-contributing. I think she felt that the map was a little light of contributing structures. And
yeah,
but David made a good point. He didn't feel comfortable, and this is his business that he does. He says he doesn't usually cross into another municipality
Right,
to do that, but the state sees it as a less formal thing, just doing a survey, because it's all about the history, not about the municipality and the rules and regs and all that stuff.
they see it as, and you cut it either way, and that's the rub of it. He saw it as like bad form, but then again, they're the ones giving out the money, it's like,
right. right.
you do what you're hired to do.
A
So
phone,
it's,
a phone call would have solved that problem.
well, there were calls, I mean, it was conveyed many times. It's just, he felt strongly that, that's not, like, I wouldn't do it that way, and so he didn't do it that way. And the thing about the mapping was the confusion of the mapping when he showed it. Basically, I mean, he distinguished which ones were contributing
Right, right.
or non-contributing, but the ones that weren't colored in, it was basically, I think the questioning was just like, it's not like there was a specific, like every parcel within this clearly drawn boundary I looked at and said either contributing or not. And that I think was because he worked off of maps that we had given as guides. Like we said, this is a map that shows all buildings that the assessors say is 100 years old. This gives you a sense of where to look. And I think he basically he looked specifically at those parcels that were 100 years old, and of those said whether they're contributing or not.
Okay.
So I mean, you trawl up most of what's out there that way anyway. But I think that's why the state wants to take a look too, just to see, well, are there any other things in the vicinity that are worth catching while we've got this book open? And to throw in the mills and whatever previous work they did, because I know they did for Harris, and I think, in the not so distant past, and I think Arkwright maybe a little further back, they also had some stuff on record. So it's a completing of the record, I guess.
But in saying that about Situate and Cranston, much more of it's in West Warwick. They didn't mention that at all,
I thought did they mention West Warwick too?
No.
because
Mm.
the
Harris
bulk
is
of
a
it,
little bit,
you
a
know,
lot of.
yeah,
it's in
West
Warwick.
Warwick, there's not that much in Situate and Cranston.
They maybe were thinking
It's just
Arkwright for that.
Yeah.
Maybe they
Arkwright
meant
is not-
Arkwright.
It's not Phoenix.
No,
Yeah.
Phoenix is West Warwick.
Yeah.
The line is right there at the fire station, Bill's Pizza.
I think, well, maybe we mentioned that too. I think they were expressing, like, maybe they thought it was thinner at Arkwright, and that's why they were
They
mentioning.
definitely felt that Arkwright was thin, that Harris had more to it, more meat to it than,
Well, there's not all that much left of Arkwright, I don't think.
Yeah. It's,
Arkwright's Cranston.
I know, that's what I mean, you cross over into Cranston.
and that might be
It's
why
just
too, they
Situate.
really, maybe in the case of Arkwright, they would have
All that
especially
comes
wanted to
together
look
right
over the
there.
border.
saying
Maybe
that.
that's what puts it over the edge
Yeah.
in their minds.
One thing that-
Coventry and Cranston all come together right there.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I would like to do is use the Anthony nomination form that got Anthony on the registry, the National Register. I just feel like that's a really good work product, whoever did that. I think maybe the state did that themselves. I'm not sure. But it's very thorough, and so that can be our benchmark for when we're ready to write the nomination for these two villages. That can be our benchmark. We'll try to live up to what that one did. So I thought what I might do between now and our next meeting is start using the information in the survey to start filling in some of the blanks on a test run of a nomination form. Only so that we know what kind of work still needs to be done as far as the nomination form. That'll tell us what else we need to get from that village out there if we want this section of the form to be completed. We have to go back out and look at this, that, or the other.
The state will hopefully be able to, yes, explain some of the process too. We can
Mhm.
observe, like you can look at it and see, like, looks like you need, it could be anything. You say like, well, it looks like with these property descriptions, they have more biographical information too, where it's available. So I guess we have to look and see if there is biographical information available for some of these properties. Maybe the state will just be able to say, we know what it looks like between the step that we've just completed and then the next,
Mhm.
the National Register nomination
Yeah.
step.
You know,
I think they're open to the idea of some sort of sharing of tasks, division of
Yeah.
labor or whatever.
no, I think so too. I think they're real free thinkers, and, if we want to work on something, they'll let us. But yeah, I think that one thing we always have to remember with a project like this is that it's not just about filling out a form and hitting a deadline, it's actually documenting the detailed history of those two villages as caretakers, and that gets passed on to others, once we, and like the biographical information, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? And so lived here in this place, and he became, or she became, so.
And there are at least a few properties
gotta
out there
be.
that've got,
There's gotta
yeah,
be.
some of that stuff documented.
Yeah. And it's all in that vault over
There's
there.
a lot of information already on that, out there. You
Yep.
just gotta know where to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's been written.
Which I
I know where to
suspect
find
is
it.
gonna be part of this process. I think,
Come on.
still, I would say all in all, so by the time we have our next regular meeting, the thing should be officially, that part, all the box checking exercises should be done with, and it should be closed out and submitted. So, but in any case, I mean, it took a little while to get there with all the bidding stuff, we did our trials and our errors and all that. But, I think in the end, we got something plenty good to work with. And, grateful to David for the work that he has done and maybe even could continue to do in these last 3 weeks if there's anything left to be done. But I think it was a good thing. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but hey, we've got, we know who you might have known Sarah and Donna at the state beforehand anyhow.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I've enjoyed getting to see how these studies get put together, getting to make the contacts, know the people who are the ones reviewing them, get to talk with the professionals who are making it. It's been interesting to see.
Did we submit the Q2 finally with the adjustments they asked for? Okay.
Yes, yeah.
I haven't been on the website to look.
that I know, yeah, that was just when you sent it at first, I thought, because my brain was scrambled all over the place, I thought you were saying that you had done it, even though you didn't, it's just, I read something and understood something else. Then they sent me something and said, can you just sign this? And so I signed it, and I thought it was the same thing you gave.
Uh-oh.
And
I
then
get
the
it.
other one
Okay.
came in and said, but I made changes. Okay, so then I realized I didn't actually, I signed the old version,
Oh, my
so
gosh.
it was a
you've got
who's
so
on
much
first,
going
but
on,
now it's
isn't it?
done. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
we'll have
well,
to
that's
make,
good.
the third quarter one would be due, I think, at the end of this month. So
Okay.
I guess, yeah, we can work on
We
that.
can talk
next
heavily
report.
about the David presentation.
Yep. What remains, I know, and hopefully, I mean, we might be able, because the grant reporting period ends, maybe we can just take the commentary right to the end anyhow,
Yeah,
and just say, and it was closed out on this date.
yeah.
So
Be done with it.
we'll put that on the list.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Can we put that report on the website?
Yeah, the finalized narrative.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would think so. I think that'd be a good thing for the webpage.
Okay, next on the agenda, the 250th anniversary celebration. Has anything been decided about planning? Every time we ask, they say they're meeting.
Yes, I was sick the day that they had their most recent meeting, like a month ago. So I had sent over the brochure that Paul had shared with me from, what year was that even made?
Is it
Good
61? 61?
I thought it was sometime in the
61.
60s.
76?
It's in the 70s.
76?
Oh, was
Yeah,
it?
76.
Okay.
Tell
Who
me,
is they? Who is they that is,
yeah, who else?
The assistant town manager, has a informal group of it's been a couple of months since I've been to one of those meetings. I think, staff from the library, Parks and Rec, and I don't remember if they're.
I don't get why anybody from the commission's not there.
yeah,
They have
that's
somebody
kind
to
of.
help train her,
I
right?
know, she's had, well, so far it's only been town staff. I don't know if she's got a reason or what, but in any case,
I had a discussion beginning of the week with the assistant librarian, the new assistant librarian, who happened to be in there doing something else. And she's trying to get together a group of local historic people to sit down and talk about what can be done together, if anything, or comparing schedules or calendars.
Yeah,
or
there's an
whatever.
opportunity for the commission to
Yeah.
make
And
a
that
presentation.
she extended the invitation. I don't have a date yet.
Mhm.
But she was talking about,
Mm.
Riches and us and Nathaniel Green and anybody else that she can, pluck up to be a part of it.
Okay.
So as soon as I get a date, I'll forward it
Yeah.
to y'all, and anyone that's free is welcome to
yeah,
sit in on it.
there's many chances, I guess,
Because
we
I
have to get it
had
from.
that brochure, it was more like a small magazine on the whole celebration in '76.
Mhm.
They involved a lot of the town, the high school kids put on
Yeah.
a play, and were involved. They had floats in a parade. KSC, or
Mhm.
I think it was KSC, was very involved, and they did a whole bunch of things to, have presentations and all that stuff.
I left just before that.
We've been doing art show.
An art show?
Yes.
What, like-
And the kids make art. And then put it up in town hall or in the.
You've got nothing but wall space in this
I mean,
hall.
history oriented?
Town history.
Hmm.
And it's because it's not that hard to do. You just need someone to build you some wooden frames with pegboard that you can hang this stuff on in a.
Have you seen the pictures these kids make? No. Just kidding. It would be fun. I like that.
Yeah, Dan.
And you
Of
can
course,
find-
yeah.
There's a mural at a paint house in the high school.
Is there?
So I
Wow.
mean, just to have some, you do it by grade level. So,
I've-
this is for first through third and this is for fourth, whatever the art.
Would it be a
teachers-
contest?
Make it a contest, and you could have judges and you could award ribbons and, I'm sure we could come up with some kind of prizes.
Like a free tickets to the paint house?
Sure, why not? But I don't know that they want it, but sure.
Uh-huh.
You can get
Ties
gift
in.
cards or something and someone will donate them.
Yeah, I like that
You have
idea.
local businesses, because I mean, all you really need is some judges
Mhm.
and someone who's willing to build some boards that can be put up in a, you know, if they're hinged, then you can open them, you can make them 3 or 4 sections and just,
And anytime we have like a little thing like that, we should make sure it's prominently recognized, it's the commission that's putting on this activity. So that we always put the name out there in front of everybody.
do cash prizes. I don't care.
I had
Cash,
mentioned at the first,
If you're in first grade and you win $25, do you think you'd be excited?
I'd be excited now if I won 25. I tried for the billion, I got nothing.
I had mentioned, yeah, that if finding ways to engage the schools are always good.
Yeah,
So hopefully, and hopefully that is still percolating somehow, but we can take ideas like this, yeah, as we come up with them.
gotta call the
I-
thing to go.
You know, when we do stuff with kids like that, through the schools, it also gives us access to the
Very
audience of all those
organized.
parents.
Yep.
So you've
Multiplies
got
our
one high school,
marketing,
one junior high, 4,
I
5
think it's 5
elementary
elementaries,
schools.
yeah.
yeah.
Each one could
No,
be,
7 schools. Like that, come
I mean, that sounds like a lot, but
No, it's not really.
Not really.
on. No.
And we got, what, a year and a half to pull it off.
And you compare Providence to how many schools they have,
do they have a lot?
but it was
I'm
100.
new here, I
They
don't
have a
know.
lot.
They have
Yeah,
a lot
they
of
have a lot.
schools, so yeah, when we have 7, they have like 100 or something like that.
I mean, I've worked in school districts where you had 4 high schools and,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, 6 junior
Yeah,
highs and
Warwick has
25 elementary schools, and
Yeah.
now just
Has
one
one.
district out of 17
Yeah.
districts, so, yeah. It
Warwick
can get
has more than
crazy.
one high
I
school.
think bigger in
But it's,
Texas.
so you just talk to the principals, the art teachers, and they, you know, set up your rules. I can go look up rules online, rules for an art show.
Mhm.
How hard is it?
Yeah, we can make
Must
it
be
fun.
submitted by, must be this big by this big, any medium.
You gotta figure they could spare one lesson, out of the year for something like that. You'd hope.
Yeah, we had to focus on like one thing, like the Industrial Revolution in Coventry or something like that, and then we could branch from
I'd
there.
like to see them use their
Yeah, Jimmy,
imagination.
Mhm.
So your town's history.
Somebody's talking.
is that you? Oh.
They used to do it for the livestock show and rodeo, and used every year they had an art show. The high school kids, even the junior high, school, they are good,
Yeah,
very good.
a lot of horse drawings.
Yeah, and horses are, you know what to draw too.
Mm.
They're difficult, but lots of, like mostly Western stuff because of the rodeo, but
Mhm.
still. Some of it was very, very good. And there's you were talking about making friends. You want to be an art judge?
Oh,
Yeah.
me?
Who do
Yeah.
we want to make friends with?
I have an artistic side.
I know nothing about art. I think at it, but we have artists in the community.
Yeah. That might be cool to bring somebody in like that.
Mhm.
I have this item on each agenda just so that, yeah, as ideas come to mind, we can write them down, compile, pass on, etc. So ideas are always welcome. And I mean that you don't have to just wait even until at the meeting to share. You can always email me, Joe.
I'll just throw a name out there, met relative to artists, Aileen Quinn. She is the one that runs, classes up at,
That's what I
the
mean.
farm in Western Coventry that
Maxwell Mays,
was
right? Maxwell Mays.
Maxwell Maze's farm. And she also is very involved in the Warwick Center for the Arts,
Oh, wow, she'd
where
be
she
perfect.
teaches class there, but she's a watercolor artist and
Mm.
does stuff like
She'd
that.
probably give a
But
lot of
because
ideas.
she, she lives here in Coventry, that's part, she lives on Mile Road, which is right off of Matteson Road, right there.
You know what I mean?
But she, and I don't know how it all, I never asked her how that evolved, but she somehow worked at getting that studio there, that was his, and she been teaching classes in that all summer long. I
We
mean,
tried-
obviously, you don't do it in the winter, it's not,
We tried to get the Isaac Bowen property and she was
Yeah.
got classes there.
so she'd be a good one too. I have her number and all that.
Okay.
I mean, I think she'd be a great judge. She'd also give some insight as to where the breaks should be. What
Mhm.
ages can you group together?
Yep, and she does deal with kids with art stuff all the time.
Yeah,
too,
well-
so-
Oh, that's perfect.
We need her contact information.
And she's a very nice person.
That cost wise, it's not undoable.
If they can, yeah, it doesn't really. Yeah, I mean, what would the main expense be? Just making the frame?
Making the frames.
And if it really came to it, I mean, if we really wanted to get cheap,
They have
know.
at senior center, it's a wire that hangs down, because artist comes in and and it
Yep.
clamps onto the thing,
I know,
not
yeah, I know what you mean.
lumber. And they, in that hallway, they have different artists that come in and.
Right, right, maybe.
Yeah,
If you
and they
have a
put
ceiling
these
to hang it from,
wires. Yeah, yeah.
or you have
That's
wall
cool.
space, that's,
Yeah.
because you can also, you know, run a wire across a wall and hang things off it, but
Mhm.
you just have to have, if you don't have wall space, then the frames work just as well. It's just.
I think it's a
Nice.
nice, yes, and I think it's a nice one. So, let me start. If I start to pose some of these ideas, let's see what the process kind of looks like. If it's it goes into a specific hopper and goes through official channels, or if it's sounds good, figure out the details, and then we know
Then
if we
bring
have
it.
the free reign. I'll try to figure out how they want to do it.
Because I mean, that's something you'd start after the first of the year
Mhm.
and the last, the spring semester for school, and have yourself a date before school gets out for the summer. And then it could be on display for the whole summer.
That's a good point. Yeah.
You know why?
Thank
Sorry.
you.
I did get an email the other day about someone who's selling trees. The 250, is your town buying trees? Or
Trees?
some such thing, yes, I don't know.
We have plenty
History
of
trees
trees.
or something. So do they realize where we are?
Still, it's the thought that counts.
Well, I guess that's a big thing, is Plato history tree or something. So now there's like 100 people popping up there selling trees.
Hmm.
You guys sell trees?
History
You
trees.
sell trees, right?
You sell history trees? What's a history tree? Like cherry trees or George
The Liberty
Washington?
tree.
With Liberty
Yeah.
trees,
Liberty
whatever
tree.
tree you want to
Liberty?
get that you stick a little plaque on and say, this is
Yeah.
the Liberty tree.
Oh,
It's like selling the naming rights to a star or something.
Yeah.
oh, I like that.
There's money to be made.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's 93 gazillion stars and they're glad to have your help.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's going to be named N34762.
Yeah, more or less.
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
Check.
Critter or
Hey,
person?
don't mind us.
That's what I'm going for right too.
Who is it?
It's just our third, or still in here.
Okay, okay, so new business. Welcome to Joshua Magnone.
Joshua, do you like Joshua or Josh or
Joshua, I
whatever?
know you're referring to me.
It's Joshua on the official document.
And you got my last name right, which I appreciate.
Magnone?
Yes, yeah, that's right, Magnone. I
Okay.
get Magnone, Magnon,
I'm sure.
Oh,
so you knocked it out.
Magnone?
Thank you.
I thought I saw Mangione at first.
Yeah, I got a lot of that for a while. Chuck Mangione, yeah.
Yep.
Glad to be here.
good, good.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Mhm.
What's your background? What are you doing?
So I've been a Coventry resident for 4 years now. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Me and my wife got our opportunity to buy our first home here, so it's been
Nice.
fantastic. I live kind of right off by Tyoke Arnold Road. I work for the city of Central Falls right now in the planning department. I'm the principal deputy director. And
In that
that
spirit.
I do essentially some of what your job is. I staff the planning and zoning board there, among other things. I've enjoyed that. I ended up in part getting into that because I graduated from Roger Williams School of Law last year, had an interest in land use law,
Hmm.
and now I get to support the work of the planning and zoning board, which is primarily land use. So it's been really enjoyable, super fun. Central Falls is a really popping place right now. The mayor's doing an excellent job there and seeing a lot of growth and development. So it's been fun from my perspective.
Nice.
And otherwise, I mean, that's pretty much me in a nutshell at the moment. I would say my interest in being on this board is, this might be stating the obvious, but I'm a huge history buff. I enjoy history, particularly Rhode Island history, colonial to kind of industrial revolution era. And I'm just looking to contribute however I can to learning about history here in Coventry and preserving it.
Oh, great. Good.
We're very glad to have you with us.
Yeah, glad to be here.
So yes, you get maybe the easy job as the alternate. Not that it's perceptible, but just
Yeah.
for whatever it's
that's-
worth.
I was the alternate for years.
Yeah,
We worked her pretty hard even as the alternate.
yeah. As long as you're ready to come aboard, yep, we'll be glad to have whatever you can offer.
Absolutely.
So it'll be interesting to pick your brain about best practices in Central Falls as far as how they see historic preservation, their commission. And so
There's an HDC up there too, right?
There's actually not.
I thought they were a
So
certified local government.
They were up until, I believe, 1997.
Oh, it's been a long time
It's
then.
been a while. It's been a
Huh.
while. So the decision to have an HDC might be a little bit over my pay grade.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd be happy to, you can pick my head about anything else, but if in fact, if anything, this board might help me contribute to whatever I can do there. Yeah.
great, okay,
There'll be give and take then.
yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Well, yes, once again, welcome aboard.
Yeah. Thank you.
The 4.2 with the reimbursement, I kept that on just in case. Maureen, did you want?
No, I'm all set, thank you.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I just, cause I didn't hear, I figured, well,
Yep, no,
you know, 99% sure, but what's the 1%? But I needed my, you know,
Yeah.
those extra bottles of water, so,
$3.92.
yeah. We wanted to offer at least.
That's all your
So-
charcuterie tray cost?
No,
No, we're talking the water.
Oh, the water. Oh, okay.
I don't count the cost of charcuterie trays.
I use that word as often as I can, because I just learned it a couple of weeks
Thank you for
ago.
making that too, that was so good.
I give them ham and they might have a heart
Did you
attack.
really
Yeah.
bring a charcuterie tray?
Yeah, with all
Yeah.
kinds of like cheeses and meats
Some
and
juice and.
It was good.
I missed that.
then she gave us little trays to take home.
Yeah.
My wife loved that.
They kept me going there for one extra day. Didn't last too much longer than
No, I'm sure not. Yeah, the first year went pretty quick. Of course, Doug was in there.
Yes, he had something to do with it.
I think so. All right.
So, yes, again,
Okay.
a very good event. So yeah, there's no reimbursements to be done, but I just had it on there just in case. So that's a no action needed
I
one.
wasn't really sure what that was about.
Mhm.
Okay. The stone marker at the corner of Madison and Maple Valley Road that we have discussed.
Want me to give you the
Yeah, the
rundown?
land
It's
is,
under contract.
is under
now.
contract, so it's
Yeah.
going to be,
I'll tell you what I've done on
Yeah.
my own.
okay.
I contacted the real estate agent.
Oh.
Well, first of all, I did get a price on the carving of the stone, which
Mhm.
I shared with you. I sent the graphic that I created for the wording that we wanted to the stone carver. And she got back to me with a price on that, which I don't have with me because I just held off until we find out what else we gotta do.
Mhm.
Because the real estate agent's name was on the sign, I called him directly. The number was his number, and he was very helpful. And I promised I wouldn't screw up his sale by beginning to try and do something, but I explained to him what we were trying to do. That stone had been put there to commemorate the fact that it was the original town meeting hall on that land. And that once the sale was finished and the people owned it, that we would like to talk to them about, you know, what to do, whether they would allow it to stay where it is, but I measured it, it's 12 feet back from the asphalt, which to me says it's on their property. The other thing I asked them directly, since I'm in the building and design business, is whether they were having it surveyed, because when I have a customer that's getting a lot or whatever, it's gotta be surveyed, you know, to do it. And it is in the process and that is happening. So an official survey is being done for that property, because it's fairly good size. And that will establish right where the front bounds was, and that's what I said to him.
Mhm.
But once you have that, if you could share it with me, so we can see, you know, because there's always the potential if we wanted to pay for it, to move it forward onto the pot. But what I ask you to do, Alex, is to find out what the easement is on that from the pavement. Is there an easement that the town owns that goes 5 feet back, 10 feet back?
So it's basically the unimproved portion of the right of way,
Right.
like where they would
Yes.
drop in a sidewalk.
Right, which
Okay.
usually is marked on some official
Yeah,
drawing that shows you from the center line of the street to where that exists.
okay.
All right, I'll give you, for instance, I'm doing a house design for a client down in Narragansett, and the road is fairly narrow in this old area. And I was shocked when I saw where the actual town setback for the street came to, because it came like 15 feet back from the edge of the pavement into what we thought was part of the property, because that shortened up what I had for setbacks, because it's a small lot.
There also might be an oddity with that one too, because the intersection is
Yeah.
kind of
Right,
odd
it should
shape.
be.
Down the
So
corner.
might cut,
Yeah.
might
They
cut a
some-
bigger
yeah.
slice off or
Or some
something.
Yeah.
feet wider, yeah, if they think maybe.
Yeah, we don't know if that was, that's not necessarily the original road
the
right there,
orientation
that's
might
how
be
it
different.
evolved over all these years.
Mhm.
And again, you gotta remember, if you look at old stuff, that was called the Kent Coventry Road back in the
Oh,
day,
yeah.
not the Madison Road. And just so you understand my connection here, my mother was a Madison. My grandfather grew up on the land on Madison Road, and it was the Madison family homestead. That's why it got named Madison Road. And I don't know why they did that, but it was the Kent Coventry Road, because it went from the village of Kent to Coventry.
Mhm.
So,
And anytime we drive on Madison, we have to pay a toll to,
he loves to pick
So
on
just out of curiosity, what was the rough amount for the engraving?
the engraving was, I think it was $4,800.
No, it was, so the stone was put there for the purpose of one day being engraved. Was it, am I correct in that? That the marker was put in place with the intention to engrave it in the future?
Well, we don't know if they,
Or-
it was put there with the intent to mark the spot where the
it
original.
was, so like somebody from the town came with, on a truck. and
I
they
don't
put it
have
down with a
knowledge
crane
of
and all
that, but that's what I understand from folklore.
Yeah.
So it's been, it would have been there a while then.
Yeah.
I don't
Plymouth
have
said-
something, I mean, this is.
Exactly.
I just, if there was like any,
This is local history,
Mhm.
that was put there to commemorate that, so it wouldn't be lost to time.
Yeah.
okay,
That, and I wish my grandfather was still alive, because he'd know the answer to that, but, other than the fact that he marks it on every Coventry map that he ever drew,
The
that
stone?
was where the,
Oh,
Yeah.
no, not the
the
stone,
lot.
that was,
Yeah.
that plot was the site of the original
Your
town.
grandfather put the stone there.
Well, I don't, it doesn't, it's not that old.
Oh.
That stone would show a lot more moss and everything on it,
Yeah.
that, I can't imagine it's more than.
From Elf
I
Land
would
store.
guess, just because of what he used to do, that Guy Lefebvre had that done.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it would be, fit into the time frame
Because
of
that's what
his
he would do.
work in the town and
Very good,
working
yeah.
for the town and all it, because he was such a
His
historical.
namesake is on the community
Yeah.
center over there on
Yeah.
17.
I mean, he was involved in so many of those type of
Mhm.
things to do it. I would guess, looking at the stone and how it is, that it's not more than 30 years old,
Mhm.
okay?
he would have chosen, I mean, it's flat, it's got a flat surface, so
Yeah,
you'd think it would be chosen for that
right,
Yeah.
good.
eventual future.
Definitely.
I
not
just, I
because it
can't
was
say to
there.
you, well, I know for sure that was
Mhm.
there, but you have to guess that that's probably it, but I had showed you guys the graphic that I had done with that, right?
Yeah.
To do it, so I
Yeah.
could get a price on it from somebody.
And
Right.
this was one where we had talked
Yeah.
before about the merits of engraving versus
Yep.
putting in a plaque, because the concerns of the plaque can be
'Cause
taken.
where it is, we're worried about someone would
Yeah.
feel it
Yeah,
for the metal. Engraving it, you don't have to, and fortunately, I've gotten to know through the historical societies I belong to, Karen, up in, Situate,
mhm.
and she's very involved with stuff up there, and I went to her place and saw a whole demonstration, and I asked her if she would consider that, and so I sent her the stuff, and she got right back to me with a price on it. But that's not easy to do. You're out, it's not like the stone is there like they usually do in her
Yeah.
facility where they can do it.
You've
They
gotta
gotta
go
go
out
out there
there.
and do it.
Mhm.
And I watched what they do to carve that stuff. Boy, it takes a long time.
Mhm. Like a little handheld
So,
jackhammer.
Yeah, no jackhammer. It's done with a,
Chisel.
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh.
it is. In the thing, they may use, they may take a tool to clean up stuff and that, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I thought it was gonna be a lot more than that. I mean, that's $4,800 still sounds like, but I mean,
Yeah,
considering what has to be done. But the stone, the potential is the stone, the people may not allow that to be done, who knows?
Right.
I tried to sell it to them that, look, this is a very historic property, and if they want to know more about it, whatever, once it's sold, to talk to us, and we can sell them on, they're gonna build a house in there, I assume, because it's a vacant lot. And sell them on the idea of having that marker in the front, and the town would maintain the little bit around it, but they need to deed. It's again, one of these things, if it stays where it is, they would have to, we'd have to form a formal document that
Mhm.
deeds like 8 feet
Mhm.
around it, so that there's enough to maintain it,
yeah, probably like an easement,
An easement,
like
yes.
public access
Yep.
easement, which we're not terrible strangers of, I mean, at least. Like when, for historic cemeteries, for access to historic cemeteries on private property that's getting subdivided, like we'll ask for. Especially after the, we won't name the subdivision, but the recent one that came up that we were discussing a few months ago. Like the town will ask them like, okay, draw easement deed documentation that says that, the town, but it's understood the town is public, so the town means in theory, like a person could walk out and see it as well, but just a means of access. In this case, if it's roadside, you'd figure that it's, well, I don't know. I don't know that it needs
So
to have like
wedged.
parking area versus just parking on the side of the road.
Yeah,
but-
it would be nice to have a sidewalk around the corner
Is
there.
that,
Which,
is that something the town takes care of? Cause there's a plaque outside the house that used to be the Waterman Tavern. Is that, does the
town
town
doesn't
take care of that? No,
No.
that's just
That's
Private
private,
still
yeah.
private property.
And
But they
But
didn't
yeah,
put that
thing
plaque
is-
there. That plaque is National Historic, whatever.
Yeah, it's been there a long while.
Okay.
so I'm hoping that whoever the survey company is that's doing this is detailed enough to actually show on the site plan that stone,
mhm.
Sometimes they are, I mean, they will, because it's a
Do they
feature.
normally show easements even? I don't think they even, surveyors just go right to the street. Do they measure easement and all that too?
Of course they will.
Well, yeah, if they
Because,
were to
I mean,
draw it
if
up,
the
yeah.
property line is, let's say it's 5.5 feet approximately back from the, that's where they're gonna show that, and then the pavement,
Mhm.
that's what they do.
And when you have to prepare the deed, I mean, it doesn't always have to be the precise meets and bounds
Mhm.
description, but they've got to be able to point to something out there that explains what the limits are of the invisible easement.
I mean,
So for this one, yeah, I mean, a lot of times, at least I see a lot of times surveys, they'll put in like man-made features or stone walls,
mhm.
even tree cover.
Yeah.
I would hope that they'd show it.
No, I mean, I use Coventry Survey for almost everything I ever do, not that I do a ton of it, but the jobs that I do, like I have them doing one on Carpenter Road, which runs into Situate, because I'm gonna do an ADU for an historic house there, and it's a fairly big property, but they always show the stone walls and all that stuff on it, so that, because those are important features that will
Mhm.
be affected by whatever's done, so like I said, when I did the one in Narragansett, I was shocked when I saw how far back that was, because it affected what I could do for setbacks, so they normally put
Mhm.
anything like that, that's an important feature on it, so who knows, if I don't hear from the guy in the next week or so, I'll just give him a call to check on progress in that. I made him aware that I was not, doing this to create any problems for him, that he didn't have to worry about that, but that we wanted the buyer to be aware that they have an historic site and that stone is there for a reason, so they would hopefully be excited about that, and wanna participate,
Mhm.
so.
And they don't, just because it gets carved doesn't mean it becomes the eighth wonder of the world
Right.
and that they have to worry about,
No, right.
a line outside their house. Just that,
Uh,
it'd be a nice project in each.
Yeah.
In every case, it's nice and disarming to say,
Mm.
well, but it's the spirit of the 250th anniversary. Don't
There
you
you
want
go.
to do your
Right.
part, and just, make people
I don't
nice and
know.
happy that way.
A little shaky to me.
You gotta work with
I
what you
can
got.
sell it pretty
You're
good.
gonna need to.
Some things I can't, but I can sell that,
Okay, you want these things?
so, anyway, that's it.
Okay, is there anything else we want to?
So this is a rough draft.
Oh, cool.
We didn't take the time to figure out how to turn the paper around and get it to,
Do it.
so you have.
Yeah,
two
I know.
Paper.
Get it, I get it. I know.
And the dots are not on the map yet, so don't go looking for them. First of all, it took me forever to find the stupid map and get it straight.
And you got our vision statement on there.
Yes, I did. Nice, but you see what I mean about fonts. I got a lot of them on there.
Well, I think the font's okay now. I mean.
Yeah,
at
it was
first-
gonna be small.
Cause you said 9.5,
Yeah.
but it's a good font.
Yeah.
It's still clear at 9.5.
And so what the plan is all these little numbers are gonna go on the description. Not everything here made it onto the description. And that's just a space issue.
Yeah.
And then each of these little numbers will be in a circle and will be on the map, so you'll have 1, 2, 3, whatever. I also put all the coordinates on it, so somebody could pull up their GPS map and they could put
GPS,
those
yeah.
coordinates in it and take them right. Sort of right to it. So they don't have to really depend on this map, but they can plot their path by that map. So take some time, read it over, find the typos. I know they're in there.
One question about
Third party readers.
when you mentioned the 11 by, you tried different sizes.
Yes.
For 11 by 17, did you try like a version of it where it would be printed double sided? So like what this side would be all text, this side would be all map or something?
Yes.
And so you found that it was still, even then, if you have all the
Well,
text on one side, that it's,
When-
it gets too small.
When you, and imagine this is bigger,
Goes to the top and goes,
you lose
what's wrong
this
with it?
whole
Don't
side.
you see that?
Because you have to put
No,
some kind of title of who you are and what it is.
Yeah, so you're saying this piece gets larger.
So you end up with, you have the inside, which, yeah, you can make the map, but as you make that map longer, it becomes wider too. So you lose space for your listing. It wasn't working out.
Let me ask
the
you
way
this
I wanted
also. Did you want to wrap up what you were saying about?
That was my question. Nope.
Yeah,
Do you think people are gonna use these GPS coordinates? Maybe we can get space by just putting those out.
I found the GPS coordinates to be helpful
Oh, you do?
when I was mapping it, because
What, do you use an app or do you map?
I just use Google Maps.
Oh, Google
You
Maps?
take the numbers
was-
and you put it into
Yeah.
Google Maps.
I
and
didn't
it
know
spits
that.
you out the
I use it all the
location.
time. I never needed
Because
coordinates.
some of these things don't have actual addresses.
Yeah.
They're like the corner of this and this.
That makes
Or
sense then.
this area.
It's kind of like trying to find you, Nick, up in the woods.
Oh, I know, yeah. People never can find my house.
But yes, you can take those coordinates and you can put that into your Google
Cool.
Maps and it will literally show you where it is.
Could the coordinates be put in parentheses and put under the address? And that might
It's gonna
save a little bit on the margin.
Drop
You
it.
could-
down. So this is gonna be longer.
It might be a little bit longer, but I'm just thinking somehow you may end up saving a little
I
space
can
on the
try it. I can
margin.
try it.
And then maybe you could start the descriptions on, whatever side, you might be able to fit 3 or 4 more
I can try it.
descriptions.
The
See
other,
if it, and then take this off and just, I don't know, have
Yeah,
to play with it and see
yeah,
how
it,
much space
cause
you
to your
gain.
point, it might get a little bit longer, but I'm thinking maybe you might save like a little space on the right hand corner and you can start with more description.
That. And that, so essentially you're gonna save about that much space. But it's
Absolutely.
gonna be longer, so you may end up having to
Well,
put 3
I'm thinking
sections.
like in some of these, like this one, it might just fit in perfectly without
Yeah,
expanding it
there's
too
a,
much.
there's a error in this because this is, there's an extra space in here that shouldn't be there.
Oh, okay.
So that needs to come out. This one will be the same. Like I said, there's some typos on it. And there's another one there. There's an extra space there that shouldn't be there. But
This fence looks really good in this picture. Must have been a long time ago, huh?
I just
That
stole it off the
picture- That
internet.
picture.
how do you expect,
Probably
most
15
people will
years old.
use, like,
More-
do you think that most of the people who would want to go on the driving tour these days are people who would carry like, phones with,
Yes.
because I don't know whether it's even technically possible. The other thing I was thinking with the GPS coordinates is, can we pre-make like a loadable
Yep.
itinerary? You know what I mean? Like something that they would scan as a QR code and it shows up in their Maps app, like ready to go, where they hit go and it drives them around to these sites.
Good question.
Mhm.
I will talk to,
They're doing that in Situate.
Yeah.
Cody, Cody,
Cody about that
Yeah,
and see if that's something that we
they're
can.
creating that whole thing, so.
If it's, because I mean, if it's possible,
Up to
even
Fred with pictures.
however much size a QR code needs to be, that's, if for nothing,
Is, that would be no problem to fit a QR
Yeah.
code on that front page.
if for nothing, I mean, in one way, you could look at it as maybe that saves space if it is useful with listing the GPS coordinates, but even so, it might just be nice to have as a fail-safe, in case there are people who are,
I think there definitely needs to be an electronic version. And it's just a question as to whether we just list it,
Give information
or,
and stuff for people who wanna do it, but to having all the nice signs.
whether we can QR code it and it will give them a path. We'd have to decide what the
Yeah.
path is.
Yep.
And so that's putting the dots on and seeing what comes first, what comes second, what comes third, where to start, and where to stop. And that's just, and then talking to Cody and seeing if that's something that the system will do.
Mhm.
I don't know.
With that kind of electronic opening the floodgates, you could also put that on the website so that people can download it right there.
That, and yeah, that would be, you'd put a QR code on this and then the website would house.
You could even put the PDF version of this on if
You could.
they ever wanted to print out their paper
Mhm.
copy and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
they didn't know where.
That
to find it or
website's just gonna be
something.
a wealth of information for however anybody wants to access that history. They'll be able to use a lot of different tools.
I want you to know this was.
It was what, painful?
Pain in the end. Yeah.
Also, this map would probably use a little bit better resolution. You could probably make,
That
Final
map
product,
is
right?
really tough to do.
it looks like it's been reproduced many times, so.
It
it's not
has,
blurry.
and it comes, well, that's what happens when you blow these things up.
Yep.
The problem with maps is you can't use like a MapQuest or something. That's copyrighted material. And so I'm trying to use maps that the town already has displayed so that I know that there's no conflicts in that. It's not as detailed as I would like it to be. But there's just nothing out there that's not copyrighted.
But isn't the town
But if you
possession
do
of
it
all
elec-
kinds of maps like this though?
If you do it electronically, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
And in honestly, when you look at this, essentially it's just gonna show you locations of where the little dots are.
Right.
You're not gonna be using the map to find it. You're gonna be using the coordinates to find it.
Mhm.
But if anybody has a better idea on a clear map, sing out, because I tried.
Overall, I like it.
You know, you can screenshot a Google map, but yeah, you know, Google is probably gonna get you in
Yeah.
trouble.
Only way you can do it, you gotta have
I-
a good digital.
Yeah.
Maybe for the, I'm not the one who's been following the comp plan update that will never end. But you know, I shouldn't say that, it'll end someday, but I haven't seen the end yet. But maybe maps were prepared in one of the previous ones. There's some kind of usable base map. Because if the printed size is only going to be like that, the resolution doesn't need to be
Perfect.
amazing. Yeah, it'll be, you know, to print something of that size, as long as you've got something good resolution, it doesn't have to be the 4K equivalent.
Exactly.
So
And
maybe
honestly,
there's
if you
something
had
we can
somebody
find.
that was good at drafting, that could draft a map.
I don't know
Got
if we
George
have
in
in-house.
there.
Don't look at,
But I mean, yeah, no, this would not, and I want you to know, this map, the actual map itself is tilted because the town is tilted.
What? Really?
And so it took me probably 3 hours to get it straight.
You know, another thing, just as we're looking at, I'm handling this thing.
Did it in,
what are you doing it in?
the Adobe Photoshop,
Okay,
trying to,
I,
yeah, it was tough.
I
Hey,
use,
you got something fancy?
I use a pretty good professional type software for my photography and the maps and all that. And allows you to shift them a little bit, sharpen them.
Yeah.
Every time I looked at this map, it was,
Where did you get this one from?
I think I took that off the town's website.
Yes, okay, so that's why you're getting it like secondhand and so.
Oh, yeah.
not an
Oh, yes, no, it's not an original.
Yeah.
I don't actually know
It's not
where
like
that
you
map
get it
came
on
from.
Does the
a
town have a
clean digital
GIS?
one. I know, 'cause I had
We
that
don't
problem.
have
I
our own GIS
transmit
office.
to,
We
like,
contract
cultural
out to a
preservation
company.
with Dave,
So
you know,
that's why I'm
and
wondering,
I
well, if we
don't do
contract
it
out to
from
them,
the
maybe
original. It's
it's
not. as
no different
clear.
if we had something
Right.
that was
Then
already
when
made
doing
for the
the
comp plan
update,
update,
And I sent them
then
from my
you know,
original.
it feels to me like
file
that's the
that
same
they got,
plane
so
of
yeah.
ownership
Yeah.
versus
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
to,
Fair use.
I
yeah.
don't know, I have to look.
Colleen, one thing I was thinking is,
That's up, it needs to be up to date, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this is not that detailed, so, yeah, there's,
Can't use an old map and
Yeah.
then do it that way.
yeah. The way we have the narrative crossing over this spine of the pamphlet, I wonder if we could just put them like in list form here and here, like just squish this in, squish it, and then,
yeah, so make 2 columns instead of
Yeah.
1 column. Yeah.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
not breaking over the fold.
You will lose some space because you will have margins, but
Yeah.
we'll try it and see what it looks like.
Did you,
And that's what you do, is
did
just.
you use Publisher for it?
Yes,
Yeah,
so
I've done my brochures.
Yeah.
Just-
I use Publisher for everything. It makes my life so.
I've made brochures of publisher.
So, but anyway, that's the first draft. There will be.
Yeah.
the
Good
second
job.
draft.
No, really, it really is good.
It's cool to be able to see it, you know, it becomes that much easier to imagine the final product. And it's something to dig into.
That's a lot of work
You
you
know,
put into that.
yeah.
Yeah.
The front is, I just pulled the Coventry off the website, because it's
Banner.
make it all
Yeah.
match and be happy, and we do not have a Historic Preservation Commission logo. So at some point, we might wanna look at that, but for the time being,
Put that on
did
the
have-
to-do list
Make
next
that
to
the art
Halloween.
contest.
feel like you really,
This
yeah,
one's
that's not a
designed
bad
for logo.
idea. The other thing that I did while I was just playing with this and trying to figure out what the heck comes next is, again, I went to Vistaprint because they have their numbers online, and I didn't have to talk to a person and get involved in the, what do you wanna order? So an 8.5 by 11, which is what this is, pamphlet, threefold. You don't get under $1 a pamphlet until you order 250, and then it's 74 cents each. So
And
just,
this color, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much cheaper is black and white? If it's not much, it's not much,
I
but
did not look, but I can check and find.
It's not worth it though.
It's
probably
not-
not,
You
but
want,
yeah.
you want,
The visuals
wanted to
are
have
always
visual-
better color.
Mhm.
Number 20 on this doesn't exist anymore.
Texas Valley Dining Company?
Yeah, what's his name take it down?
that was
Yeah.
probably the original name of it, Tux Valley Dine. I have to
They
look,
took it down,
listed
what was
on-
left of it, they took.
I have to look on
What's-
the
They
Harris
took
map.
down-
The,
So
is
there
it
would be
the,
a sign there, but there won't be a historic building there.
well, the pump house
Okay.
still stands, right?
The pump up, well, if you wanna call it standings, there's not much left.
Let me just,
Oh, yeah.
Because it was listed on.
The roof
Yeah, it
on
was,
it,
but it was taken down just a few years ago.
well, I'm thinking of
Okay.
this thing. So, like this is the same building you're talking about, right?
Yeah. That
that's
was
it.
the offices.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh, I thought it was pump house, sorry.
No, the pump house was across the street, right in front of the pond.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I know, I grew up in that whole area,
Well,
walked
the
by it,
offices
rode
could-
by it
could-
all the time as a kid.
The
is,
mill is gone.
is this at least like, is it reasonably structurally sound,
Yeah.
reasonably enough to put it
It
into
is.
this?
You know,
Cause we could always, at least if there's something historic, I mean,
You see the rubble there, the rubble up to the left,
yeah.
that's the old
see
mill.
where it says Black Rock Brook?
Yeah, that's the old mill. Well, that's where
Right
the
there, that's
the
where
mill
the
was taken
house
down.
was over
Okay.
there.
Black Rock.
Yeah.
This is pond,
Here's pond, that's that little
this
building with a
little
hole.
building right there where you got it,
With a hole
that's
in
the
the
pump house.
Oh.
What's, it's just a
What's left of it.
foundation now,
Is that all there is?
not much. It's-
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
there's
okay.
nothing left,
Yep.
really.
That's too bad.
It was too bad, it was a very lovely building
Mm.
too, I wanted to, again,
So do we leave it in or do we take it out? Or do we call it Texas Valley Dining Company office?
Site of?
Site of?
I don't, yeah.
Yes, I know, yeah.
Because what I did is I took some of these off of its, National Register of Historic Places listings in Kent County
Yeah,
and went.
it's within the last 10 years it came down, it hasn't.
Yeah, I
really
don't know how
gone.
long, how old this is, but
So it was before that it was designated.
That's
There's
the
a-
property that Mike Sakosha.
Yeah, I know.
and his family.
so if anybody sees any like really screw ups on this, let me know and I'll, change it, because right now it's just a publisher document.
Mhm.
Takes 2 seconds to fix it. And I will go ahead and fix these. I will try to see what happens if I move the coordinates over and see how much space I can glean out of it.
If all our QR code dreams come true, then yeah, maybe that substantially flips the picture. Maybe it's easier to, at that point, to have like the title of the place in bolder or larger type, and then just a street address underneath in smaller type.
What I,
There'll be ways to play if we've got it.
what I would do is if our QR code to come to pass this, I would get rid of the map completely.
Yeah,
And each area would have its own QR code. So you could click on that and it would take you right to it.
Hmm.
But that's down the road.
so to speak.
So you wouldn't have to do the whole thing. You could just pick and choose.
Hmm.
Would you add the historic districts?
Some of them are in there.
You've got, what do you call it, Rice City
Yeah, I
here?
see Hopkins
But that's
Hollow.
South Main,
Hopkins Hollow.
Oh, there's
and-
South
Scott,
Main, yeah, okay.
Anthony, there's some in
Yeah.
there. Again, not everything made it in because of space
Mm.
constraints.
Kane House,
I did what I could
Historic
do.
District.
Where do you have, when it is a district, where do you send them to? Like, just because if it's not a specific pinpointed
Point on,
state,
it's
you
hard.
know, yeah, like, how do you know if you're like, you get there and you wonder,
So,
well, how
like,
much further
Anthony
does the
Village,
district go? You wanna wander.
It said Washington Street between Batty Avenue and Hazard Street. And I will just put a dot in the middle of that and
Mhm.
people can pull their maps up and look at it and see what they want. Villages are tough because they don't really,
Mm.
historic districts are tough.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd put them in there, what the heck? And I think I put, not on this side, but on this side, I tried to put the ones that were private residences, I tried to note that so that people knew, don't go wandering up in people's backyards, they're probably not gonna like.
Mhm.
Anyway, so if y'all will send me any corrections or comments. Changes. Additions, deletions, edits.
Unwelcome ideas, welcome ideas. Thank you,
Just
Colleen.
a question of
Yeah.
playing with it.
Good job.
I'll just tell you right now, I'm gonna ignore it for the next one, because I'm sick of looking at it.
Fair enough.
Okay, anything else?
But I am saving it all on a jump drive, so at some point I'll be able to give you the jump drive and you can do with it as you choose. Save it, throw it away. Whatever.
Okay,
Real quick, I think.
do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second,
I'll second the motion.
all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
opposed? We can go.
7:05.